Hello, and thanks for checking out the video. Today I've managed to get out, so just going to have a bit of an explore really. Explore some more of some woodland that I know, and also pop over and take in a view that I find a little bit fascinating. I don't know if you can hear me or even if the phone is doing it justice, but we're at one of those amazing points that despite being some miles inland, we can see the sea, just about make out the Isle of Wight, see the one and only tower block of a rather famous old seaside resort there. But if you glance to the left, you can follow a range of hills and a famous national trail. You can actually follow it as it crests each of those summits of those hills as it heads on its way east. Yeah, you know, it's just one of those points where you can just take it all in. Well worth the hike. It's like an ash graveyard, and even the deer don't help. Something lives in there. I did a video about yew trees. Someone commented and said you can see the faces of the lost souls in the tree itself. Hey, check this out. A 5-star hunting chair. I've made this little frame here to try and making the fire a bit easier, really. You know, it's based on something similar to what they call the Siberian log fire, but obviously this is on a much more tiny scale. And a Siberian log fire is actually a fire that's designed to go on for a significant length of time with very little, very little tending by the person, you know, and it makes the user's life a lot easier and provides warmth over a long period of time. Now this frame here is based on that, but it's not going to provide everything that a Siberian fire provides. You know, this is on a much smaller scale. Obviously it's just small sticks really that I burn on this tiny little fire bowl here, but when it comes to processing the wood, you know, rather than perhaps cut everything up into very short lengths, I might be able to lay some sticks into this frame and then as the ends of them burn, keep feeding them through, you know. So I'm hoping that might help with the preparation of the sticks. You know, you haven't got to perhaps do as much cutting, and I'm wondering if it might help me during the night. You know, it might make a fire that perhaps needs less tending, or possibly might burn a little longer at times. I hope so. I doubt very much. It certainly might be easier in the wood processing side of things, but it's a bit of a test tonight, so we'll see how this goes. Tonight for dinner is creamy pasta, and I'm going to cook the pasta at the same time as I rehydrate a few vegetables. So the pasta and the vegetables are mixed together with a few soya chunks thrown in as usual. So there's dried mushrooms in here, dried peas, dried French beans. They're all dehydrated at home though, it's very easy to do. And obviously the pasta, which is dried, and the soy chunks, which are dry as well. So we'll whiz them into the pot. So you can see all the dried vegetables are mixed with the pasta. So as the pasta cooks, the vegetables rehydrate. Well, that's the plan anyway. So we'll cover those and a bit more with water, if I can get the lid off. We'll get those on. It's quite a fierce heat coming off this. I think because the sticks are held in a kind of a rack, they're held up off the fire a bit. It seems to aerate it and actually makes the fire higher as well, which is throwing off a lot of heat. So those are done. We'll drain well, if there is any water left in them, a small amount there, we'll drain that off, and then we'll decant them probably into this brown paper bag here, and stash them to one side while we put the fresh veg into the pot to fry down. See if I can't do an upside down trick. Sweet pepper, an onion, and in a little while we'll put in some garlic as well. Cut that up quite chunky. We'll fry that up in coconut oil, just because coconut oil is quite easy to carry. It doesn't spill very easily, and it has one or two useful sort of other properties as well. Get this fire going again. The onions and the peppers soften down nicely, so we can whiz in some chunky garlic. Now we can whiz in some general purpose seasoning. And then we can whiz in some soya cream. If I can open it. Just rinse that jar out with a splash of water, I think. The cream's all stuck to the sides. And now we've got the task of putting the pasta and vegetables into this very small pot, and clearly this big bag of pasta and vegetables is not going to fit, so we'll just have to do our best. Get it back on the heat to warm through, and job done. I know I've had it before, but yeah, it is nice, and I should have it more often really. Well, that wasn't a bad night really. It wasn't cold, you know, it wasn't predicted to go below 5 degrees. I think they were talking about 6 or 7 degrees centigrade, something like that. Yeah, this stick frame does a pretty good job, you know. It doesn't really reduce the amount of times you have to tend the fire. It's still only a very small fire, a very small fire bowl there. So I think the main advantage to it is in the wood preparation. You know, you haven't got to make hardly any saw cuts really. Just grab a few sticks, they're about 4 foot, 5 foot long, and you know, you're ready to go really. The fire didn't travel down the pile of sticks, despite the breeze generally blowing that way during the night. You can splay out the sticks more so that the concentration of heat, if it wants to travel that way, is dispersed and it struggles. But also the timber at this time of year tends to be very damp anyway, so the fire was disinclined, I think, to want to attempt to spread towards the damper part. You know, it stayed in the heat of the fire bowl quite nicely. Yeah, so all in all, a pretty good night.